Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
Hey, I can't hear you, Jay. Hang on, Jay. I don't know why we can't hear you. Let's see here. Figure out why. Unmute. There we go. Try that.
Welcome, everybody, to this brand new,
Jesus.
first ever series
Clearly
premiere
first ever.
Renegade recap right here on the Jeff Meacham Network and the Casa D18 Studios channel. Thank you very much, Jeff, for allowing me this platform to come over and just kind of talk a little bit to the fans here that have been watching the show.
Not a problem, not a problem. And the thing is, the reason we're doing this, y'all, is because we've noticed a huge disparity in the viewership. We're not going to lie. It's dismaying because there's so many. First of all, this month alone is great for Jay. He's got Tom Hanks movies. He's had Tom Hanks movies since the 11th when we went live for our first simulcast of the show, and it kind of tapered off, and I'm kind of bummed because I appreciate your efforts in doing these, because I know that you have such an affinity for movies and such an affinity for entertainment in general outside of the world of professional wrestling. I mean, you're my music guy, you're my movie guy, you've kind of dove headfirst into my land of hockey as far as the love of professional hockey, so that's awesome. So I had felt that you definitely had a good hook, a good gimmick, if you will. And I'm noticing that the crossover audience is not happening. So I am encouraging everybody watching on my channel right now, first of all, to make sure you check out the Renegades reviews each and every day. I'm talking 7 days a week, folks. Every day of the week, right around the same time, usually around 6 o'clock Eastern or so, give or take. And check out the man, because he is a huge reason. And I said this on the anniversary show, so I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. You are a huge reason why I'm sitting here a year later and doing this network thing and and actually making the money. So I appreciate that very much. And, you, along with the gentleman here in the comment, are two huge components of that force. So to do this, what we're going to do, JJ mentioned it on his social media. I really get a chance to plug it because it's been batshit here, because the internet loves me, as always. Basically, at the end of every month, the Thursday or Friday, usually probably Thursday before the latest episode of WTC, which is coming up, by the way, at 6 o'clock. Don't forget, on our channel and Greg's and Aaron's.
But a lot of it just depends on what my schedule is for the week. But yeah, generally towards the end of the month, last couple days.
Right. We will be recapping the entire month of what JJ has gone over and take a look ahead at what is yet to come, because February is going to be good for Uncle Jay too. Let's not gloss over that.
Oh yeah, I've got a lot in store. First things first. Mikey, thank you very much for the comment. I appreciate that there. Let me go ahead and acknowledge that.
Yes.
I do want to say thank you to the people that have been watching.
Right.
As of right now, across all the episodes, I have 149 total views.
There you go.
Which, sounds like a good number, but, when you figure how long it's been going and, there's 5 here, 10 there,
right,
6 there,
right.
We definitely could try to get the views up. On the Green Mile, which aired this past Tuesday.
Yes.
And had Statboy as a special guest on it.
Yes.
There was a comment left behind by Carnius, who said, "Hey, you actually are a good film reviewer, man. I really enjoyed this."
See, there you go.
Carnius, I don't know who you are. If you're somebody who's known me for a while or somebody that just popped in because they saw the Green Mile and caught the show, but thank you very much for that. I appreciate that.
Yes, exactly.
As this man will tell you I do my due diligence when it comes to my work.
Oh yes.
I don't just, you know, granted I do look up on Wiki and jot down the synopsis, reworded in kind of my own words
Right.
for the description portion of my shows.
Yes.
But it's not like I just do that and then keep on pushing. I actually sit and watch every single one of these movies that I talk about, even if I've seen them 100 times, like a Forrest Gump, like That Thing You Do. You know, I still rewatch because you never know what you might notice that you never noticed before.
Exactly. There may be something there that wasn't there before.
So, you know, I just wanted to say thank you to all of those people, the 149 views that I've gotten so far. Hopefully, we can try to boost the numbers by doing this, coming to you guys once a month live, trying to interact with you guys. You know, a little bit later in the show, I'm going to open up for Q&A. You know, answer whatever questions you guys have. Do not be shy about using the super chat feature on Jeff's channel,
Exactly.
as that will definitely help both of us out in the long run. But, you know, if you choose not to use a super chat, I'll still answer your question if the producer man controlling the board over there deems it to be a worthy enough question and he pops it up.
I'm trying to work on getting here and being in the booth on the computer because doing this on the computer is a pain in the ass. So on the phone is a pain in the ass. So
As Jeff mentioned, obviously That Thing You Do TV performance was the same studio as Price is Right. I did not know that.
CBS on Beverly Boulevard, baby. Even I knew that one.
As Jeff pointed out, you know, this month has been Tom Hanks month. I would like to thank Stat Boy, since I know he's watching, for coming on and talking the Green Mile with me. I'd like to thank you, Boss Man, for popping over and talking A League of Their Own with me.
That was I love that movie to pieces. So
yeah, we've delved deep into Tom's career this month. You know, going back to Splash,
yes,
which was his first major movie. He had done a couple others before that, but that was his big coming out party, if you will. That was his star making role. And then we had some less popular comedies that he came out with in the 80s. You know, The Money Pit. We did The Burbs. Dragnet, which is a early favorite of mine. Turner and Hooch, the same.
Yes, definitely.
Look over my shoulder here because I didn't jot every movie down.
Yeah.
Bonfire of the Vanities and Joe versus the Volcano.
Yes.
You know, we did all three Tom and Meg Ryan movies: Joe versus the Volcano, Sleepless in Seattle, and You've Got Mail.
Yeah, I still say they're a trilogy, whether they admit it or not.
Philadelphia.
So good.
Forrest Gump will be airing tomorrow here on the Jeff Meacham Network, as well as on the Casa D18 Studios channel.
Yes.
Apollo 13, That Thing You Do, which we've mentioned a couple times.
Yes, very much so.
Saving Private Ryan, which I had never seen before I watched it to review it.
Really?
Yeah. There's a couple of them that was the case for. Castaway as well. I had never seen Castaway.
Nice.
I had never seen The Green Mile, even though it is one of Mikey's all-time favorites. I had never seen The Burbs or The Money Pit.
Right.
I had never seen Joe versus the Volcano or Bonfire of the Vanities.
I still haven't seen those yet.
So that brings us to kind of where we are today. Immediately following the stream, you can catch the premiere of Catch Me If You Can.
Yes.
Which is a favorite of mine and one of the very few Leonardo DiCaprio movies that I enjoy and endorse.
Yes.
And then tomorrow and Saturday, or tomorrow's Forrest Gump. Saturday and Sunday will be The Lady Killers and The Terminal.
Do not sleep on The Terminal, y'all. That's a damn good movie.
That'll round out the month here, so I don't want to get too in depth on those two because I'll save it for the reviews to air.
Right.
Michael Gonzalez, of the movies I reviewed the past month, which was my favorite? I would have to say the two that I had my guests on. League of Their Own reviewing was fun because that's one that I had seen a number of times and really, really loved that movie. And me and Jeff kind of got into it in depth when we did our baseball movies last summer on Dads. And then The Green Mile was fun because, like I said, I had never seen it before. So sitting through watching a movie that is a Stephen King based work, but really isn't Stephen King's traditional style when you think about his novels and the movies based off of them. The Green Mile is definitely not something you really think of as a Stephen King type of movie. But me and Mikey kind of got into that a little bit too. And the one scene where they execute Dell is probably the most Stephen King moment in that whole movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And poor Dell, I'm watching that and I see him, and the first thing I think is Mr. Noodle from Sesame Street in Elmo's World.
Right?
And I'm like, oh my God, they're frying Mr. Noodle. No!
Yeah, don't show the girls that. Good grief.
Oh, no.
Especially the little one.
But yeah, those are probably the favorite ones to talk about. I did enjoy doing Bonfire of the Vanities also because I slipped a clip from the movie in there.
Oh, nice.
And didn't get pinged for it, so that's always lovely,
Well, see, that's the thing. You're still under the radar where they're not messing with you yet.
Yet.
So, yet.
Give me time.
Yeah, yet. They always come looking for us. Speaking of questions from a Mike.
I did see A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I did enjoy it. I did not review it this time because Tom Hanks has such a filmography that he's actually going to get a part deux next year. Probably for January 2022, I'm going to do the movies of his that I didn't get to this time. And I'm still not going to do the Toy Story movies because those will be done when I do Pixar eventually. Considering that there probably would be no Pixar if it were not the success of the first Toy Story.
Very, very much so. Very much so.
So I wouldn't want to glaze over those in the Pixar story.
No. And yes, Alex, Step Boy's still alive. That's him asking that question right there. He's still alive, Alex. It's okay.
But I thought A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood was a really good movie. They had Tom Hanks has now played Walt Disney and Fred Rogers. Can we please cast him as Jim Henson?
Right, exactly.
And just have him play like all my childhood heroes of creativity. Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, and then have him do a cameo role as Bob Ross somewhere along the way. Just
Yeah, just because he can
give that big
nice little fluffy cloud, a happy cloud.
Yeah. Give him that freaking bosom buddies era hairstyle he had for Bob Ross.
Seriously. So I don't want to dwell on the past for too long. The past is the past for a reason.
Let it go. Oh, sorry. Okay, so
next
one more question.
One more question.
One more question for Tom Hanks, and then we'll move on. Where would
I absolutely would rank Tom Hanks around my favorite actors. He would probably be number 1 or number 2.
Yeah.
He is arguably the best actor to come out of my generation.
I definitely co-sign on that 110%.
You figure that the first movie that he was in was 1980, a very, very small horror movie, which I didn't get to this time, but will definitely be covered next time.
Okay.
I was 4 years old at that point. So Tom Hanks has been a major motion picture actor for virtually my entire life.
Yep.
I would be hard pressed to find another male actor with that kind of staying power and longevity that is consistently churning out quality product.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he has not had a very long lull ever of crud. Like there's been a couple hiccups, not gonna lie,
Yeah,
but nothing long term.
yeah, as I like to say when I was reviewing his movies, I have yet to see a bad Tom Hanks movie.
Exactly.
I have seen Tom Hanks movies that weren't great, but I have yet to see a movie that I would call basically like a hot piece of garbage.
Right. When he took on the role of Walt Disney in Saving Mr. Banks, there was a lot of controversy because not everybody thinks of Uncle Walt as the the happy-go-lucky guy skipping to Disneyland. There's a lot of darkness around Disney,
I know.
but Tom played off very well, and we all know the history. If you're a Disney fan, Walt was kind of a dick about Mary Poppins with P.L. Travers, but Tom still played it off very nicely.
And P.L. Travers was quite the bitch towards Walt about Mary Poppins as well. So you take what you get.
Right, but the thing is, like Emma Thompson played it off like she was the snooty bitch and didn't want her stuff messed with. Tom very delicately glazed over the true assholeness of Walt in those moments, and still pulled it off very nicely, just being even keel.
Yeah. I'd say probably the most dickish he got was when he got her on the carousel horse.
Right.
Just get on the horse, Pamela.
Yeah, either that or at the very end when she goes to bitch and he goes, "That ship has sailed." It's like, ooh, damn, I guess, Walt, you a dick. Yeah. But as we know, that was very dramatized. So
yeah. But like I said, we don't want to dwell on the past. We want to talk about the future.
Yes.
And exactly. Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. That's a couple months away, for being honest, but still.
Well,
next month, February, coming here in a couple days. Why don't you go ahead and roll that trailer real quick?
Here we go.
And then we'll come back.
Here we go.
So there you see just a small taste of what is to come in February. 2 themes: chick flicks, romantic comedies, love stories, whatever you want to call them.
Exactly.
As well as Black History Month.
Yes.
Love stories are pretty self-explanatory. I went digging through my archives to try to find some stuff that you might not initially think about as like a go-to.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to try to save some stuff for future themes.
Right.
Which I'll get to, in a little bit.
Right.
But then there's also stuff that, you just kind of had to have. You had to have Pretty Woman.
Oh, God, yes.
Which actually will be one of the ones featured here on the Jeff Meacham Network in February.
Yes.
I forget what day that's scheduled for off the top of my head, but Pretty Woman will be the one that is featured for the chick flicks. And then over on the Black History Month side of things, 42, the Jackie Robinson story, will be featured here on the Jeff Meacham Network for that half of things.
Yeah. So let me just let you have a little helping hand along the way of what you're doing there. So we had Dad's for tomorrow because it was an off week because it was supposed to go up last Friday and Uncle Jeff messed up in downloading. So we redid that literally about an hour ago. It took us that long. So that's going to go up tomorrow. Next week, the first Friday in February, will be a regularly scheduled episode of Dad's. And we will be doing our non-wrestling show at that point, I believe, right? Because we did that one.
No,
first,
it'll
right?
be the wrestling one.
Yeah, balls. Okay, well, hang on a second. Let me get the other graphic up because I don't have a graphic for the wrestling one yet, but I do have one for love songs without a date on it, so I can air that instead. So next Friday will be our top 10. It ended up being real life wrestling couples. We were trying to decide if we're going to go kayfabe or real, and we ended up going with real life couples. So that'll be our Valentine to wrestling, if you will. And then in 3 weeks, our non-wrestling show will be the top 10 love songs and the top 10 breakup songs, featuring a very special guest co-star, Mr. J.
Yes.
So there is that, and that'll be on February 19th. So the 12th will be Pretty Woman.
The 12th will be Pretty Woman then.
And 26th will be
42.
And then we get into my birthday on the following Monday.
Yes.
So there you
go. But we're not there yet, Jeff.
No, I know.
Pump the brakes.
I know.
But yeah, so like I said, romantic comedies, chick flicks, they are what they are. They're all pretty stereotypical. They're all more or less interchangeable. Just replace one actor, actress with another.
Yeah,
But the Black History Month part is the part that I'm looking the most forward to be perfectly honest.
Definitely.
And let's take a minute to talk about Chadwick Boseman.
There we go.
Because seriously, if you need a person in Black history to be portrayed, they called Chadwick Boseman.
Right.
He's Jackie Robinson in 42.
Yes.
He's James Brown in Get On Up.
Yes.
And he's played Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah.
Which, while we were airing that trailer, my roommate actually popped in and brought me some mail.
Oh.
So, perfect timing. We're going to go ahead and do this on the air. Little unboxing, as they are movies for me to review this month in February.
That's awesome. I actually got my my movie mail while we were on break there for a half hour.
So the first package, which came by itself,
yes, is
Ali.
Nice.
As well as a documentary on Muhammad Ali, the greatest.
Oh my God! Wow, that's awesome.
Double feature set there. There we go. There's no glare there.
There you go. That's awesome, brother.
Ali with Will Smith, as you saw in the trailer, is definitely going to be covered.
Yes.
And then, speaking of Chadwick, there is Get On Up.
There you go.
Which I did not have yet.
That's awesome, brother. Very cool.
There is Marshall.
Nice.
Which also stars Josh Gad.
There you go.
That should be interesting.
Yes.
And then one that wasn't featured in the trailer, Notorious, the story of Notorious B.I.G.
Damn. It's good shit, pal.
So we're trying to. 42 was a good movie. I've seen it before, but when I watched it the first time, I was only kind of like half-ass paying attention to it.
Right.
So I'm going to be looking forward to, sitting down and like fully focusing on it.
Definitely.
But yeah, the Black History Month part I'm really looking forward to, because you've got such characters in history like Thurgood Marshall, like Biggie, like NWA, like Tupac, James Brown, Muhammad Ali, Ray Charles. We're going to be doing Ray.
I still haven't seen Ray. I've had it in my collection for a year.
All these people who, in one way or another, left their mark.
Yep.
Roots, which is an endurance test in of itself.
Yes.
I sat there. Believe it or not, I actually sat there over the course of one day and watched it from start to finish.
God damn, brother.
I had seen Roots before when I was in high school. I actually took a Black History class in high school.
Right.
And they showed Roots to us as part of history, but I hadn't seen it since then. And keep in mind, I graduated high school in 1994. I watched it again last year in 2020. from start to finish.
If y'all listen real close, you can hear his hair gray and his spine curve right there. Y'all hear that? Okay.
But the acting and the actors in Roots, and the story of one man's heritage,
and Les,
so good.
Yeah, Les Dye glazed over the fact that were it not for Roots, there would have been no chief engineer of the Enterprise D. Because LeVar Burton got his start there, man. So
I was talking to one of my buddies at work about Roots.
Yeah.
And, the first two parts of Roots are arguably the best. Okay. With LeVar as Kunta / Toby.
Right.
When John Amos takes over the role when he gets older.
Right.
It's still good.
Yeah.
But that innocence that LeVar brings to the role.
Yeah.
He just makes it.
Yeah. He had such innocence. He totally pulled off having to be the naive but still take charge chief engineer of a major starship and be the host of a wonderful kids program every day on PBS. So
Reading Rainbow does not get the credit it deserves.
It sure as shit does not. Oh my God. I love Reading Rainbow now. I wish it was still on the air, for crying out loud.
And then we're going to talk about some of the blaxploitation films that came out in the 70s.
Oh, yes.
We're going to be talking about Shaft, Foxy Brown, Coffee. And, blaxploitation films, they are what they are. They are very stereotypical. They are very controversial. Right. But they're also very important in the fact that a lot of those movies gave African-American actors their first shots at being the leading man, the leading woman. Right. Those roles just didn't come along all the time.
No. I want to ask you on the air, and I don't want to try to get too heavy, but we only got a half hour to go here because we got
no worries.
Where WTC is starting. I watched Aladdin the other night. I had my bestie of besties. I always do a random pick a number 1 through whatever, except for these. I don't want you to end. She ended up picking the number of in order of the Disney movies that ended up being Aladdin. Over on the right side of the screen where it says details, there's a little paragraph. This was culturally wrong then. It's culturally wrong now. But so they air it, and they air Dumbo, and they air every other one that has that damn label. Why are we still not getting Song of the South? If Aladdin was wrong in 1992 and still is wrong in 2020, why is Song of the South wrong in 47 but not be aired in 2021? That's a
very good question, and that's a question for Disney executives.
Right.
Since you brought it up, I'll go ahead and throw it out here. When I do my Black History Month reviews, I am going to review Song of the South.
Yes. Awesome.
And I am going to go into detail about some of the history, how recently it's been aired.
Uh-huh.
In an effort to try to get down to cracking some of that, I don't know if you saw the news. I shared it the other day on Facebook.
Oh, I saw it.
That now Disney Plus is regulating for its 7 and under users, and they can no longer view Aristocats, Swiss Family Robinson, Peter Pan, or Dumbo. You have to at least be 8 or older to view those movies.
And okay, I am not a huge fan. I never Swiss Family Robinson. I never really got into that, so I can't really.
Yeah, I've never seen it all the way.
Yeah, I have, and it's even from when I was a kid, it was a hard sell because it's very much Disney 50. It's like okay, whatever. Aristocats is damn good. I don't care. We all know your daughter, my niece loves it, and I cry through Dumbo, let alone my kid. Like, seriously, like Dumbo's beautiful. And if you take away my Peter Pan, I will whoop that ass. Because my kid and Peter Pan are peanut butter and jelly, man. So no.
Yeah.
But God forbid, I don't want to get into too much of a freaking political whatever discussion here. But it's just it chaps my ass so much that every other freaking movie in the damn Disney library literally can have that label and still air, but Song of the South can't. And I don't understand why they're so scared.
I don't know. But like I said, I will be reviewing that one, and I will be trying to get to the bottom of it. I will play devil's advocate. I won't just look at it through a bias.
I know.
You know,
Trust me, I am the whitest guy to be talking about Song of the South. Let me not glaze over that shit, okay? But,
yeah.
The thing is, I only got to see it because you sent me that copy you sent me, the digital copy. And it is what it is. It really is. It's not for everybody at all. It wasn't for everybody in 47. It wasn't. But if every single other movie in the library can be aired on their app, then I feel it, with a disclaimer, let me say that again, with a disclaimer, it should be up there. So that's my 2 cents as the whitest guy in the room. Carry on, my wayward son.
No worries. And then, in the coming months, we have quite a few things that are on the books.
To say the very least.
Gonna do a month of trilogies.
It's gonna be awesome.
Gonna do in May, for May the 4th, we're gonna dedicate the whole month to Star Wars and Star Trek.
Ooh, and Star Trek? Very nice.
And Star Trek.
So wait, there's probably about 30 between the two of them, so that's probably not
right. Both Marvel and DC are going to get their own respective months.
Nice. Well, in case you
I am trying to, and I'll go ahead and throw this out there to the fans that are watching.
Yes.
And then I'll also post this in the Jeff Meacham Network Facebook group to try to get some votes.
Thank you.
I'm trying to decide how to book Marvel Month.
Oh.
Should I do the MCU movies and then fill in with some other random movies? Should I save the MCU for a completely other month?
Yeah.
Because there's probably 30 Marvel movies out there, not even including the MCU.
Right. And the MCU is at 23?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if I do the MCU, do I do it in order of release or chronological order via timeline?
Oh, man.
These are things that have been weighing through my head. Those of you that are out there watching, please feel free to chime in and let me know what you think.
Okay. I'm gonna hold off my answer till I check something out here, so stand by.
Okay. Obviously, October, I'm going to be doing horror movies. And December, I'll be doing Christmas movies. I'm starting to put the horror movies one together. And as of right now, I'm not even looking to conquer any of the major slasher franchises.
Wow.
I'm looking at doing 31 horror movies just pre-slashers.
Okay. Question
We're talking...
Oh, good.
I was going to say, we're talking like the Universal Monsters.
Attaboy. There
We're
you go.
talking Hitchcock, Psycho, The Birds. We're talking Rosemary's Baby, The Exorcist, which I know Jeff won't touch with a 50-foot pole.
Nope.
We're talking like The Omen.
Right.
Those type of things.
Yeah. Here's my question to you about the MCU movies. Are you planning to watch them soon, or like when were you thinking that month's going to be, if you're going to put it in there?
I was thinking of the Marvel month being June, going straight from Star Wars, Star Trek to Marvel.
Okay. The reason I ask is because if you do it in June and Wonder Woman 84 is not yet on home video, you can do the MCU and the DCU in the same month, straight through, chronologically or not. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 DCU not named Wonder Woman 84. Which if you do it in June, you go over by a day. Do it in July, you're good to go. But July, I'm sure you got something else planned. So, but yeah, and May, of course, is like you said, is science fiction, is the Star Trek. So, but yeah, if there's 23 MCUs currently released, not counting Black Widow whenever that pops out, and then the 8 DCUs not already released on home video, you have yourself a month.
Interesting to know.
Yeah, and I'm still pissed off because I was up my dad's ass for a whole week. Okay, we're gonna watch Wonder Woman this weekend, right? Right, we're gonna watch this, and I completely forgot and let it go. I haven't seen it yet.
I still haven't seen it either.
Ugh. It's supposed to be so. It's very polarizing. So.
And then we're looking to do some more featured artist months, like we did Tom Hanks this month. Looking to do Jim Carrey
right
later this year, probably around November, to break up the Halloween and Christmas stuff.
Yes. Oh, and for what it's worth, I do appreciate you not doing the slashers in October because, as you know, my alter ego back here, I don't know if you can see him where I'm at here. You can kind of see his head there. There he is. 13 days of Halloween, including the panel at long last.
Yes.
So, but of course that's on my Michael Myers Twitter, so that won't be a YouTube thing because I ain't getting charged for that shit. But yeah, I really wanted to have the October be something besides Halloween. That way I could focus my energies there, and that way when I'm airing your replays, I don't have to worry about overstepping Michael because Michael might hit me from behind. You know, he's scary back there.
Yeah. No. I figured I would save the slashers for like another year. I wanted to try to get to like the foundation.
Oh, for sure.
We wouldn't have the slashers if it wasn't for the Universal Monsters, if it wasn't for Psycho, if it wasn't for Night of the Living Dead, if it wasn't for movies like The Exorcist. So I kind of wanted to lay that foundation, and then next year maybe get into the slashers and do Freddy, do Jason, do Chucky.
Yeah. Well, because by then they'll all have at least 20 movies each by then. So,
you know.
Keith, thank you for stopping by, and Colin, thank you for the reference. We of the referral. We really appreciate that, Cleaver, man. I really do appreciate that very much.
Yes, thank you, Colin. Much appreciated.
And Keith, welcome to the party. Pull up a chair, grab some popcorn and a cold beverage. Off you go. And Michael says, do you plan on reviewing the indie movies? That's a good question because I haven't seen them all myself. So
I do plan on tackling them at some point. Unfortunately, at this stage, there are 4 of them. Right. So I can't squeak them into trilogies.
Right.
I was contemplating doing a month, maybe not this year, but down the road, of franchises.
There you go.
You know, much like the Star Wars, Star Trek, or even the slashers that have spawned more than a trilogy, and just do, you know, a month like that, maybe do like the Fast and the Furious franchise, which is currently at 9 movies before we get part 9, because the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be going to 10 in the official series, plus Hobbs and Shaw makes 11.
Right.
Plus, if there's a sequel to Hobbs and Shaw, which is being discussed, that makes 12 right there.
Right.
Indy is supposed to be getting another movie, so that'll bump it up to 5.
It's so funny you mentioned the slasher spawning stuff. It's like I was doing read about Halloween. Halloween has like 3 trilogies within the trilogy. Like it's got 1, 2, H2O, and it's got 4, 5, 6, and then it's got these last 3 are like a trilogy contained within themselves, but they're also a sequel to the first one. So dude, Michael's timeline is so warped. It was like they did the whole thing on LSD. Poor bastards.
Other actors I'm looking to do featured months for include Brendan Fraser.
Ooh. I call Bedazzled.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves.
Okay. Dude.
Sandra Bullock.
Ooh, that would be fun for me to try to review with with my familial ties.
Eddie Murphy,
There you go. See?
and someone who will probably make you chuckle, and it'll get me to watch a franchise that as of yet I have not seen, I don't think, any of the movies all the way through.
Whoa.
Sylvester Stallone.
Have you not seen the Rocky movies?
I think I've seen most of 4, but I don't know if I've seen it from start to finish. I know, shocker.
Check. Wow.
Shocker, I know.
Yeah. That's like my dad in the car trip saying he hadn't heard a song before. I was like, all right, that's it. Show's over. Jesus.
So that's a little bit about what's coming up in the coming months on my channel.
Yes.
I haven't seen the 4th movie yet, but I have heard that it was the drizzling shits.
Yeah.
I think that's part of why Harrison wants to do a 5th, is to try to redeem it and send Indy out on a high note.
Harrison's trying to do what Sly did for Rocky 5. Like, it wasn't here.
Do you guys have any other questions for me? Do you guys have any theme type of suggestions or actors or actresses that you would like to see me talk about and review? Leave them in the live chat comments. Jeff will bring them up and I will take a note of them so I can figure out how to work them into future planning of my show.
Dude, George of the Jungle is so underrated. I love that damn movie to pieces.
I haven't seen it all the way through. The last time I had Natalie, we started watching it.
Right.
Probably got about halfway through, and then some shenanigans ensued, and we didn't finish it.
That wasn't the summer visit, was it?
No.
Okay, so I was say because I screwed that up. So actually, the damn clinic screwed that up for no reason. Oh lordy. Yeah, George of the Jungle's good. I am not a Pauly Shore fan at all. I like Encino Man. It's funnier than hell. I said Bedazzled's good because he's funny and Liz Hurley's freaking gorgeous. And she's the devil, which is just fantastic.
Encino Man and Son-in-Law, and that's where you lose me with Pauly Shore movies.
Yep, exactly.
I was a fan of Pauly back in the late 80s, early 90s. I watched Totally Pauly on MTV.
Oh, God.
I had his The Future of America comedy CD.
Oh, Jesus.
I've even seen Pauly do stand-up live. He is genuinely funny.
Yeah.
And a cool dude.
Yeah.
But like the movies, it's a one-trick pony. It's just like watching Cheech and Chong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything ill about Cheech and Chong, but
no.
there's only so much you can watch that act before it's the same joke.
Yeah, for the most part, every single Pauly Shore movie is the exact same plot, just with minor tweaks. I mean, that's really, it's ridiculous. So,
and watching the first few Pauly movies just to watch, like, Where's Waldo, to see where Brendan as Link is going to pop up is like the best part, because Brendan realized that Encino Man made him a star.
Yep.
So he had no problem giving back to Pauly in Son-in-Law, In the Army Now, and there might have been one more that he popped up in a cameo as Link. But I know those two for sure. He has a brief cameo giving back to Pauly.
And then, let's just address the elephant in the room here. Link isn't that much far removed from George of the Jungle.
No, really not.
Real easy transition there for Brendan. But now, God, he's got the freaking Mummy series under his belt. He's got all these great flicks. So, dude, good on Brendan. And you know what? Good on Pauly for getting the chance. But, dude, Pauly's movies just suck. I love Pauly. I've met Pauly. He's a wonderful dude. But yeah, his movies are bad. Just bad. Like, God, like not quite Hogan bad. Sorry, Terry. But yeah, pretty bad. Both mics have a similar idea, and I like it.
Okay.
Michael Gonzalez says De Niro. Mikey says, how about De Niro Pesci mob genre? Dude, we love those movies. You know that, Mikey. Dude, throw it on there. So,
trying to think. Pesci might be difficult to squeeze 30 out of because he overlaps so much with other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
De Niro, I might be able to pull off.
Yeah.
But when you figure that Pesci's best known roles are Home Alone 2,
Right.
Casino, and Goodfellas.
Yeah. And he's not the guy in any of those. So
That's 4 movies, 2 of which would probably be covered in the December for Christmas movies.
probably within the same show. I mean, it's Well, I mean, no, because they're both great in their own way. So I wouldn't say.
Yeah, they'd get their own separate day each, but and that's not to say that Pesci doesn't have other movies, but those are probably the ones that he's the best known for. Whereas De Niro, at least, you go back, you've got Taxi Driver, you've got I'm blanking now at some of his other movies, but Cape Fear.
Yeah.
You've got the Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers series.
Yeah.
That he did with Stiller. So I will jot down De Niro. That's definitely a good.
It's gonna bug me what the name of that movie is that he was. Hang on a second here.
I'm trying to remember that other one he did in the late 70s, early 80s. I want to say it was a comedy. It's who his character in Joker was based off of. But I cannot for the life of me think of the name of that movie.
Right. I don't. Yeah. God. Okay. The movie where he played the boxer. I can't remember the damn.
Raging Bull.
Raging Bull. Christ, I knew it was Bull something, but I was gonna say Bull.
And then
that's not him. That's Kevin Costner.
And then he's in Grudge Match with Stallone, which is basically Raging Bull versus Rocky.
Right. And then he's in
that I've seen.
Yeah, and he is in one of the many members of the Corleone family. He's in part 2.
Yes, King of Comedy. I think
that's that's it. Yeah.
King of Comedy is the one that his character was. I think he pretty much plays the exact same character in Joker, tying the Joker to that movie.
Right, and then he was in the Untouchables. He played Al Capone. I forgot about that.
There you go. See, so De Niro's definitely one that I will be researching to potentially do here in the future.
Yeah, there's a
Thank
lot
you for that suggestion.
Yeah. Wait a minute, what the hell?
Any other ideas, topics, suggestions?
Yeah, Michael Gonzalez, Raging Bull is a really good. Yeah, again, I just the name wouldn't. I know it was Bull something, but I knew it wasn't Bull Durham because that's the Costner baseball movie. I'm like, what the fuck is the name of that movie? So yeah, Raging Bull, great stuff. Taxi Driver was very good, Mike. You're absolutely correct. I mean, again, De Niro's kind of in the Hanks category of find me a bad movie if you can. Like, it's very hard because. There's a reason De Niro can do shitty movies now because he's so well respected. It's like, go ahead, Bob, get out of here. That's it's okay.
We'll throw you a bone there.
Yeah, and Taxi Driver was again. There's so many. Like, seriously, JJ could spend a half-hour show just talking about the movies he's going to review for Robert De Niro. So yeah, he's got great stuff, and I so look forward to showcasing these every other Friday on my on the channel when we don't have a Dad's Week, because I get to hear your perspectives on movies I have seen and movies I haven't seen, and Lord knows, Aaron, as of the last, there's stuff I haven't seen many times. So over the we talked about this over my anniversary show. There's a lot I haven't seen that I have no business not have seen yet. It's really ridiculous, to be honest with you. So
there's a ton of movies that I still haven't seen. It's like. You've seen some of my collection.
Oh yes, just some.
And there's a bunch of stuff that I have never watched before.
Yeah.
And doing these reviews gives me an excuse.
Yeah. If you guys watch the old Casa shows in the original apartment, the reason we had to squeeze into the hallway is because they didn't have anywhere to stand in the living room because his freaking movie collection took up the damn block space. It's everywhere. So, we couldn't get anywhere. Okay, well, the hallways get the wrestling figure, so we'll do that. Yeah. This guy has his stuff. He knows his stuff. And again, I encourage you, every single one of you, please check these reviews out every single day of the week. He's still got 3, well, including today. It's going to go up pretty much right now when trivia's on. So sorry, Jay. But 4 more days of Tom Hanks over at youtube.com/Casa18 Studios. Now, unfortunately, Sunday, I'm going to be infringing on your space, but I do have a good reason for it, because I'm bringing back the watch-alongs people have been bugging me about for 6 months or whatever it was, because I did Survivor Series, and it was an emotional train wreck for me, because watching the Undertaker bow out was terrible. It was very hard on my soul. So I didn't want to do another review. I didn't want to do a watch-along, because it was too hard, and they take up so much energy and time out of me. But the Rumble is the Rumble, and I can't not cover the Rumble. So what I decided to do, which I mentioned, I think on the Dads we taped either today or somebody, maybe I did the show with Greg yesterday. It'll be the big 4, maybe Money in the Bank too, but definitely, because that way I don't have to worry about covering 13, 14 shows a year, because it's just too hard on me. Plus, people want me to do the Impact pay-per-views and the AEW pay-per-views, and it's like, y'all want to get me some money? You know, I was
going to say, I didn't even see a super chat pop up, so it's kind of hard to justify doing all of that with no income.
Yeah, when I'm having to watch the AEW shows and the Impact shows, the pay-per-views on freaking pirate bootleg, because I don't have money popping up over here, not a lot I can do. It's hard to, pirate stuff and have the internet be drained on it if I'm trying to watch it too. So, WWE Network, or now soon to be Peacock, very simple. Click on, done. So, but that's your guys' decision, because that's what you guys want to see. So I'm going to bring the watch-alongs back. But if you want more out of this gentleman, if you want more out of this gentleman every day, then please, any way you can, super chat us during the live shows, because that's the easiest way to get the money in the kitty. Buy the shirts, teespring.com/store/Jeff Meacham Network /Greg Cherry Brand /NoDQCOM. It's really that simple, guys. Get the money in there. And of course, there's always PayPal. If you want to PayPal me directly and have a secure link, that's cool too. So you guys know my PayPal link. I've had to put up there many times. So, and the Cleaver, I love you. I love you, Colin. You're good people. $2. So
much love, Colin.
We love Colin. And
Colin, is there any specific actor, actress, or theme that you'd like to see me work on covering?
Look at Mikey with the $5. All right.
Thank you, Stat Boy.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wind this down, because I gotta make sure we get on before 6.
Yes.
But what we're gonna do, JJ, you're gonna take that $7 and go get a sourdough Jack each at Jack in the Box, because we can get that slot changed. So there you go. $3 today, bitches. If you have the app, jackinthebox.com. So there's a plug for Jack in the Box, you assholes. Why don't you get my money right, my food right? Anyway. Seriously, minor bitch. During the pandemic, I have yet to have a drive-through order right completely the whole way. In a year. Everywhere I go. Why can't they put people, hang on, we stuck dealing with yo asses. Why can't you put a person in the window that can speak like I speak and understand like I understand? Or if you have somebody drop me off at my door, don't put it up against the screen so I can't open the door. Yeah, thanks.
In the words of Joe Pesci, they F you in the drive-thru.
Right? Dude, I am so understanding how freaking Jim Cornette is how he is in the drive-thrus. I get it. I totally understand. Good Lord. Just keep up the great work. Oh, okay. Well, hey, you know what, Colin? Honestly, I want to see JJ review Major League as a baseball movie. The whole franchise, because Lord knows Cleveland needs some love right now in sports, because, man, they are hurting after the freaking Browns fell off after such a decent season. I was so bummed for those guys. So
I can probably squeeze it into my trilogies.
There you go.
Because there are 3 of them. I mean, a lot of people don't talk about the third one. It kind of exists like House Party 4. It's there, but no one really acknowledges it because it doesn't have Kid and Play.
Right. Yeah. Well, the thing is, they tried to have Charlie for 3, but Charlie wasn't checked in that day, so he was a little out there. So they couldn't get him on set to maintain for a whole shoot. Poor Charlie. Anyway, so yeah, I love Major League. I think they're funnier than hell, and hey, there's WB Hall of Famer in those movies, so there you go.
That's right.
And if you don't know, look it up. Do some investigations. I'm not your info bitch. Leave me alone. Anyway.
Well, sir, thank you for this opportunity to do this. Make sure you check out the Wrestling Trivia Challenge, going to be coming on this channel at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
If trivia is not your bag, feel free to go over to youtube.com/Casa D18 Studios and check out my review for Catch Me If You Can. Both of which will be premiering there at 3 o'clock.
6 o'clock for you kids in New York.
We will be doing this, like we said at the top of the show, monthly. Try and get some feedback, try to get some suggestions for upcoming shows. And until next time, here on Renegade Recap, here on the Jeff Meacham Network and Casa D18 Studios, I am the Renegade, JJ Williams. Thank you, Boss Man, for joining me for this ride and playing Producer Man.
I appreciate being helped along there. So there you go. Oh, and by the way, Colin has put up 3 videos this week if anyone has any interest, because Colin has great content over his channel at youtube.com/the Cleaver Colin Andrew. All one word, very simple. Poor BG doesn't have a URL yet, but Colin does, damn it. youtube.com/the Cleaver Colin Andrew. Boom, there it is.
There you go.
Boom shakalaka.
Until next month, until our next outing as the dads, not always on wrestling.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you guys next time.